Good day, everyone. My name is Tina New, a student at the American Public University. The purpose of this presentation is to explain the qualitative and quantitative steps necessary in conducting a sensitivity analysis and on how a project's risk can be incorporated into a capital budgeting analysis. This is the objectives for today's presentation, so let's dive in. First, let's identify what sensitivity analysis is. It's a method used to predict the outcome of a decision given a certain set of variables. In the context of financial decision making, it helps assessing the risk and uncertainty in capital budgeting by evaluating how changes in key inputs, such as costs and revenues, affecting the outcomes of a project. By analyzing variations, the managers pinpoint critical variables and prepare for fluctuations, enhancing decision-making with a clearer grasp of potential outcomes and their likelihood. Next, we'll talk about the capital budgeting analysis. What it is the process of evaluating and selecting long-term investment projects or expenditures. It involves assessing the potential returns and risks associated with various investment opportunities to determine which projects are most likely to enhance the value of the firm. In addition, this analysis typically considers factors such as cash flows, timing of cash flows, risk, and the cost of capital to make informed investment decisions. Next, we'll talk about qualitative steps. When conducting sensitivity analysis, we start by identifying key variables such as revenue, cost, and discount rate. We then consider potential scenarios like best case, worst case, and base case to assess their impact on project outcomes. It's essential to also factor in external influences such as regulatory changes and market trends. Decision makers leverage these insights to adjust project parameters, assessing risk mitigation strategies, or determining the variability of the investment based on identified risks and opportunities. Moving on to the quantitative side, we establish baseline assumptions and vary key variables one at a time while keeping others constant. By calculating outcomes such as NPV and IRR, we can determine the effect of variable changes on project metrics. And graphical representation helps visualize this impact. Today, we're exploring risk assessment, a vital aspect of project management. So let's start by acknowledging the diverse range of risks. They are financial, strategic, performance, and external risks. Now let's dive into the systemic steps of risk assessment. Identify, validate, and prioritize risks. What we do here is we cast a wild net to identify risks, validate their relevance, and prioritize them based on likelihood and impact. Assess risk severity by evaluating factors like probability and impact. We gauge the severity of each risk. Last but not least, identifying mitigations. Finally, we developed strategies to mitigate risks, whether through control measures, contingencies plans, or through insurance. At the end, risk assessment equips us to anticipate and manage uncertainties effectively, ensuring our projects stay on course despite the challenges they may encounter. Now let's discuss how project risk can be incorporated into capital budgeting. First, we've got to set our starting point. That's what we call our baseline assumptions. These are our initial project parameters and financial forecasts. Then we'll start tweaking things. We change one thing at a time while keeping everything else the same. This helps us see how sensitive a project is to different factors. Next, we crunch the numbers. We calculate outcome like NPV, which is net present value, IRR, internal rate of return, and payback period. This gives us a clear picture of how each change affects our project metrics. And finally, we bring it all together visually. We plot our results on a graph to see the impact of our sensitivity analysis. This helps us understand the big picture and make informed decisions about our project. We're exploring advanced technique for integrating risks into capital's budgeting decision. First, the risk-adjusted discount rate. What that is adjusting the discount rate to reflect project-specific risks. And then the probability-weighted cash flow, which assigns probabilities to scenarios for more accurate cash flow estimation. Then the Monte Carlo simulation generates multiple scenarios to comprehensively analyze project risk. And the decision trees maps decision points and outcomes to assess risk-adjusted return. These methods empower us to make more informed investment decisions that align with our strategic goals. Now, the benefits of the sensitivity analysis are a number of things. It enhances decision-making by identifying potential risks and uncertainties, improves risk management by incorporating risk factors into financial models, increases transparency by communicating project risks into stakeholders, and optimizes resources allocation by prioritizing projects with the highest probability of success. Finally, the take-home message would be sensitivity analysis is a powerful tool in capital budgeting, allowing us to assess the impact of variable changes and incorporate project risk into our decision-making process. By leveraging sensitivity analysis, we can make more informed and strategic financial decisions that drive success for our organization. And thank you for your attention.